foodies, welcome back to Clarissa's Kitchen. I'm Clarissa, those are new to my channel, and we are going to be making different variations of pickled vegetables. What's also great about pickled vegetables, it's fermented, so there's a lot of prebiotics into these veggies that kind of build over time, so you can always add it to any dishes you want as a snack. It's a really great pairing for any type of food that you're really eating, to be honest. I hope you guys take some of these recipes with you. They are really easy. You can pickle literally anything you want. That's the coolest part. So anyways, done with the blabbing, let's start. I am making 3 different variations, starting with the carrot and daikon radish pickled vegetables. This is more of like a Japanese inspired pickled recipe. Daikon is a form of radish. This one looks pretty big, and you'll normally find it at a local Asian grocery store. I actually picked this up at my local farmer's market down the street. If you guys live in Orange County, California, or have been in the area, you definitely need to check out the Irvine Farmers Market. It's just ginormous. I love it so much, but you can definitely get trapped there. Anyways, there are a few different stands that sell this daikon radish, so feel free to pick one up, or again, just go to your local Asian grocery store and you can find it there. Alongside with that, I cut a big onion. I did not mean an onion. I actually peel and cut a carrot, a ginormous carrot that I also found at the grocery store at H Mart. You want these to basically be the same size. 2 little matchsticks. The next step will be to salt the carrots and daikon radish. Really more for the daikon radish because it has so much liquid and moisture inside that we want to remove that excess. So how you do that is called like the sweating process, or at least like that's what I call it. And you take some salt and sprinkle it all over, mix it with the carrots and the daikon, and put that in the colander. And you want to let that sit for about 30 minutes. You can even let it sit for an hour if you want. I know I just listed the recipe and I'll list it down below, but there's 2 ways of going about the liquid mixture. One is using a small sauce pot, adding the water, vinegar, and sweetener, let it simmer and come all together. Then the other option is, if you are really lazy, which I did here, I microwaved it. You really want boiling water, so if you're gonna microwave the water, make sure it's boiling when it comes out, and then you're gonna add your vinegar and sweetener. So I add that into the boiling water, both of those ingredients, and kind of mix it all together. And then the fun part, you basically add that in a pickling jar. Mason jars are my go-to for everything. I've listed the ones that I've used down below. They're fantastic. Or you can just find them at the store or on Amazon, which is directing you to the links that I just put down. So it totally depends on how much you just made, but this was equivalent to like 3 or 4 jars. I think here I just only showed 3. You want to press that down into the jar. Like, don't leave much space into it because you'll be pleasantly surprised at how much you can actually fit in this jar. So keep on going, and even if you want a little helper in the kitchen, have your kids do it with you, or if you want to make it a fun activity as like a date night or a friend's night, and have them add it into the mason jar with you. It speeds up time a lot. You still want that liquid mixture to be hot, like piping hot. So you want to do this quickly because it's going to help like render down the vegetables, and it's really going to help soak all that pickling brine. So fill it all the way to the top and close it tightly with the lid. Then basically let it cool down, and then once it's fully cooled, put it in the fridge. And this can last up to, really in my opinion, 2 weeks, but it can last up to 4 or even longer if you decide to choose so. Moving on to the second pickled recipe, which is Taiwanese pickled cabbage. Now, this is a very simple dish that Taiwanese people like to make, and I love anything vinegary to kind of cleanse the palate and balance out the food that I'm eating. You don't really need to use Napa cabbage. You can actually just use like normal green cabbage that you could find at the grocery store. Also, just a quick note, so this knife that you see in the video, I've been using for the last few months since Nakano, the brand, had sent this over to me just to give it a try. It's so sharp, it's from Japan, but the way the knife is like cutting through the carrot, It's gold, it's butter. They did give me a link for you guys to get some discount down below, so I'll list it in the description box. Now we want to sweat out the cabbage by using the salt method again. We're going to be salting that along with the carrots for about 30 minutes or 45 minutes if you want to wait a little longer. Now we're heading into the garlic part, and let me just remind you, do not add as much garlic as I did. I would highly recommend just to add 1 garlic clove per mason jar without smashing it, releasing its flavors. Just keep it whole, make it even easier for yourself, because once that hot pickling brine goes over the cabbage and garlic, it's gonna permeate so much that you might have a really potent, bittery garlic taste, which happened to me, so I remade this. So after 30-45 minutes, wash the cabbage and carrots, take out all that salt and pat dry, then add it into the mason jars of your choice. I like to press down the cabbage and carrots as much as possible without breaking it, but you want to pack it in tightly. Okay, we are using apple cider vinegar this time. Allulose. So once you mix, pour the pickling brine, it's super hot, into the mason jars until you fill it to the top. Now this would go so well with like a Taiwanese beef noodle soup. It would go well, honestly, any soup. Or if you just like little side dishes, this can definitely be one of them. And if you guys had tried this at a restaurant or made this at home or eaten something similar, comment down below. I want to know if we are on the same page of loving this type of cabbage, because it is so dang good. The last recipe I want to share with you is the pickled purple cabbage. Purple cabbage is a really underrated vegetable in my opinion. It doesn't look really pleasing to the eye, trust me, because I know. When it comes down to pickling purple cabbage or just keeping it raw and using it in a salad or coleslaw, that's what's up. So crispy, it's refreshing, it's crunchy all at the same time, but basically the same concept as the second recipe before. I removed the core and I actually used the whole purple cabbage because it was quite small, relatively speaking, to the green cabbage we used earlier. Totally up to you if you just want to use half and just try it out. Same thing as we did before, press as much of the cabbage into the mason jars as possible without like breaking it into pieces, and then actually kick things up a little notch. I am obsessed with black pepper. Growing up, my mom would put black pepper on everything. Like, it doesn't even matter how well seasoned it is. She just loves the taste of freshly black pepper, whether it be on pasta, on seafood or salad, like anything. And my brother and I growing up would be like, you are so interesting to like add black pepper to everything. Like, why would you just do that? And now that I'm older, it's so funny. I have to put black pepper on everything. And I just like laugh every time I do so, because I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely follow the footsteps of my mom, but it is so good. And then same thing, pour the hot pickling brine over the cabbage. Other than that, once it's all filled up, do the same thing, close the lid really tightly and place it in the fridge. Everything can be good up to 2 to 4 weeks or even longer if you want to just have it in your fridge at all times. But normally speaking, I like to make these fresh pretty much every month with all the remainder of the vegetables that I have on hand. Look how beautiful this is though. I cannot get over the colors. It makes your fridge just look so fun every time you open it. But you have a lot of variation now to dress up your different recipes. So if you want to see more variations of these pickled recipes, give me some love down below or like this video and subscribe. Look how beautiful this is. This shouldn't be any longer to take than like 10 minutes. I mean, mostly it's the chopping, but other than that, you're just kind of piecing everything together at the end, and it cuts a lot of saving time. This is already starting to marinate. As you can tell, like it's turning pink. I decided to actually put some black peppercorn in here just to spice things up a little bit. And then with this cabbage, this is not Napa cabbage. This is actually just like regular green cabbage. So it'll have more of like a crunchier taste. And then we have the Daikon Radish. This one was our first one that we made. I actually eat this a lot. I don't even know what kind of Asian cuisine, but I will say I do eat it in Taiwanese food. This could be also Japanese, Korean. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Pickled Vegetables. Make sure you check out my other videos. Love the kimchi video. It's so good because I really love making that kimchi. So that's, I would say, more intermediate, advanced kind of level, but these are definitely beginner levels, super easy for you guys to do. Store them in the fridge, and it's really fresh up to 2 weeks, but it can definitely last up to 4, so it's totally up to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time in Clarissa's Kitchen. Bye!